Greetings, everyone. Good morning. Today is Friday. Today is the day that Venus governs, Venus rules, and I'm coming in with, hey, Miles, how are you? I miss you. Happy belated birthday. I know you had your birthday recently. Okay, great. So I'm going to invite Venetia to join. Let's see. Um, how do I do it? Request to join. Venetia, you have to ask. You have to say, you have to request. Let me see if I can do it. Okay, let's see. Oh, here you are. Invited you. We are in the West, we have holiday season. Hi, Venetia.
Hi, Monique.
So excited to be here with you.
I'm excited to be here with you too. Thank you for inviting me.
Of course, of course. One of the things that I really appreciate about you is that you get that there are other ways to heal that are outside of the Western traditions.
Yes, yes,
And
yes,
and you take it on. You really do it. You
yes,
take it on.
yes.
And so that is why. So Venetia and we're gonna have a conversation about um Venetia's a therapist. I studied to be a therapist, but didn't finish that journey because it wasn't aligned with my heart. And I invited Venetia to have a conversation with me about why Western therapy needs tools like astrology to really support people. And the reason why I want to have this conversation is because there was a time when Black people didn't go to therapy, but Black people are starting to go to therapy. Thank
Yes,
goodness.
yes, yes,
And we need that, and we need the basic things that therapy offers, that it offers us this opportunity to talk about things that we don't talk about in our families, to talk about things that we're ashamed about, and to talk about things that don't get addressed. And so we need therapy, and I'm so grateful for that. But
yes.
I just wanted to, why don't you start by sharing because you're recently out of school, right?
I graduated in 2017.
Yeah, that's recent.
Yeah, yep. I graduated in 2017, and I've transitioned into coaching. I've been working with a friend of mine who graduated from the same school that I graduated from, the same marriage and family therapy program.
Yeah.
And she started a private practice called Alloy. It was originally Alloy Therapy. She's transitioned into wellness.
Yes.
So I work for Alloy Wellness, and so I've been trying to incorporate more astrology into my coaching, and to get people to understand themselves a little bit better. So sometimes I'll ask my clients about, if they're comfortable with astrology, and if they're not, I'll use it as a tool for myself,
Yes.
to understand how they assert themselves, who they are emotionally, and what their purpose is. So I use astrology for all that. And for the clients that are open to allowing me to talk about astrology in sessions, we talk about that. I help them understand their partners and their children and their family by
Mm-hmm.
by looking up I help my clients with a lot of their children's astrology as well.
Yes.
So it's been really helpful to me, especially for the ones that are open to it. I don't force it on my clients, so it's not like um, it's optional.
Yeah.
So but I use it as a tool for myself
But you
if
use
they allow me to. Yes.
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 So one of the things that I realized when I was in school, because we studied a lot of Carl Jung's
Mm-hmm.
theories and work,
Mm-hmm.
but they never told us that Carl Jung was an astrologer.
Right. Right.
They
Right.
never mentioned that the Western astrology builds
Mm-hmm.
most of its techniques and theories around Carl Jung's work, but they don't introduce astrology, which I find to be really disempowering because one of the things that I see about in the West, because we're so economic driven, because we're so
Mm-hmm.
profit driven,
Mm-hmm.
it's really about my belief is that it's about keeping people having to need somebody
Mm-hmm.
to help them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you can't heal yourself, but if you understand your astrology, you can learn tools that
Mm-hmm.
will help you, because what people don't understand, what Carl Jung obviously understand but they don't teach, is
Mm-hmm.
that your subconscious is what's really running and governing your life. The
Mm-hmm.
patterns that you were born into, your
Mm-hmm.
mother, your mother's mother, your mother's mother's, like, we don't understand that we're still carrying around those patterns
Mm-hmm.
from people that we may have never known.
Correct. 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 Yeah, and it's like even working with you often, which that's what made me kind of want to go into coaching, working with you and working with other coaches like Gabrielle,
Hmm.
other coaches who support talking about astrology. So when I first started going into coaching, I elected to start studying under coaches or getting coaching from other
Hmm.
people who I thought I could learn something from. So,
Hmm.
okay, if I was going to be a coach, I wanted to see how coaching could be successful and
Yeah.
how it impacted my life. So, I've learned so much about myself and the therapeutic process through getting coaching from people
Yeah.
like you and Gabrielle. And I've had recently I got coaching from a young lady named Biani Perez.
Hmm.
She calls herself a clinical coach, and
Hmm.
she does a lot of somatic stuff, breathing and body work virtually. You know what I mean? So
Hmm. Hmm.
it kind of gave me an opportunity to open my mind to other ways of healing.
Yes.
It's not just about talk therapy. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Maybe we're talking about now using some sound bowls in our sessions virtually. You know what I mean? Trying to
Yes.
figure out ways to incorporate that into our sessions and taking a more of a wellness approach, not only a therapeutic Western approach.
Yes. It's really profound, because I mean, I studied for years before I started to understand the dynamics of how the subconscious mind, the
Mm-hmm.
conscious mind, and the body really
Mm-hmm.
are really are intertwined. But
Mm-hmm.
the Western mind tends to separate things. So, like, when
Yes.
you go to the doctor, the heart doctor hasn't spoken to your high blood pressure doctor. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's
Mm-hmm.
they disconnect things, but we are all one
Yes.
thing. So
Yes.
to not address the holistic perspective is a half-hearted.
Disservice. It's like a
Yes.
disservice. It does us a disservice.
Yes. So what are some of the things that, or one thing maybe that you could say that you didn't, maybe you knew about yourself as far as like needing therapy, but when you started understanding your chart, you saw something that you would not have understood through a therapeutic perspective.
Um, that so looking at my chart, I hold a lot of masculine energy. I have mostly fire and air.
Mm-hmm.
So and I'm naturally assertive, direct, and straightforward. So I feel like I always felt like that was a flaw, or people make me feel like that was a flaw, like you're too much, or you're too this, or you're too, you know what I mean? Like you're too masculine. I've always
Mm-hmm.
been told. So it's just like, yes, I have a lot of masculine energy, and there isn't anything wrong with it. So
Right,
once
you're made
I
that way.
learned, yes, I'm made that way, and there's nothing wrong with it. So I stopped creating stories about how I should be. This is
Mm.
just, part of it is just the way I am. I can do rituals and stuff that'll kind of help me hone in into my feminine energy and do, you know what I mean?
Yes.
But naturally, part of me is just, this is just how I am.
Yes. I love that, because
Mm-hmm.
it's, our culture has this sort of cookie cutter idea
Yes.
about what it means to be a woman, what it means to be
Mm-hmm.
a man, what it means to be a
Mm-hmm.
black person, what it means. And when you go into your own code, which your
Mhm.
astrology is your own code,
Mhm.
it's such an interesting thing, because one of the things that I see that I didn't know now when I before I started studying astrology, like something as simple as when I meet people who have different body types, right? Like I had a
Mhm.
client for years who what people would call obese, right? But I wasn't an astrologer yet, so I didn't understand. And once I later I pulled her astrology and I saw that she was a Cancer, and I was like,
Mhm. That
most
makes
people,
sense.
right.
Mhm. Right.
Right. So
Yeah.
now I'm not, so I stopped being at odds with it. You know, people
Mhm.
who have a lot of Cancer and Taurus energy, Cancers
Mhm.
tend to seek comfort and safety.
Yes.
And,
Through
and they,
food.
right,
Mhm.
from food.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
Tauruses do too. So
Yes.
their bodies tend to be stockier
Mhm.
and, more sort of tree trunk like, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or softer and rounder and heavier. But if you're a general therapist and you don't have that information,
Yes.
you might think that those are bad habits. I mean, and
Yes.
it's impacted me. So I was out with a cousin of mine who is a Cancer, and we had gone to have lunch for somebody's
Mhm.
birthday, and
Mhm.
we were together for hours. And I just noticed that she was eating all day long. She never stopped noshing, right? And
Mhm.
my old mind would have been like, girl, stop eating. But because I
Right.
know her astrology, I was like,
Right.
of course, this is
Yes.
her soothing herself.
Yes.
And I was like, do you want my food?
Yeah. 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 Like you support it and you interact with the energy differently. Yeah. Yes. 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 Yes.
It's so funny, right? And then the other part of it is the sexuality piece, right?
Mhm.
Because so many of us are at odds with our sexual nature,
Yes.
believing that, if you have this, whatever, whatever our belief systems are. But when
Mhm.
you go into somebody's astrology, you can see people's
Mhm.
sexual nature there. Shaka is saying, this is powerful. I've been doing this in a disjointed way. Love how you two are bringing the gap, bridging the gap.
Yes.
Thank you,
Yes.
Shaka.
Yes.
Thank you
Thank you,
so much.
Chaka.
um Shock and I we've worked together. We haven't worked together lately, but we worked together for a long time. And
Mhm.
Shock is a brother, right? So,
Okay.
um, Shaka, do you want to come and share something with us? Because I see you keep hitting the button. I don't know if you can bring in more than one person at a
You
time.
can.
You
You can.
can? Okay,
Yep.
let's see. Shaka, you want to come in? Because if we bring you in, okay, let's see. Okay,
He
Shaka,
said
we're
yes.
bringing you in. Come on. I'm accepting it. Oh, it says okay, he's saying he declined it. I'm trying to bring
Okay.
you in, Shaka, but it's you have to accept the. Oh, he said no. Okay,
Okay.
great.
Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Because we would love to have a brother come in here and talk about this.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And Shaka's
And,
smart too.
and you know
Um,
what, Monique, I was just thinking of like I've been having some health issues, so I was having issues with my skin. So it was automatic for me to go search like, okay, what planet rules the skin or what sign rules the skin, so I can see where that is in my chart to know how to deal with it.
yes,
So it's helped me. I use astrology as a tool to help me heal myself.
yes,
And and just not make an issue about it. So it's just like not go to the doctor because I have the tools within myself to kind of connect to heal myself.
yes.
So I use astrology also in that way when it comes to like if I'm having pain in a certain area, like I had a lot of lower back pain, a lot of root
Hmm.
chakra stuff. So and I've dealt with a lot of trauma, so it was just like my body's way of releasing that. So what really wasn't, I didn't, I stopped going to the back doctor because it wasn't nothing. He was like, nothing's wrong. It was esoteric. Like, remember your doctor told you? Like, so
Yes.
I heard that voice like, no, it's esoteric. So I have to use the rituals that you've taught us
Yeah.
and just, Google stuff about the root chakra and kind of heal myself. I bought that book about healing the body. It talks about, there's like a book that you posted about, and
Hmm.
it's like, it teaches you about healing your body and the chakras and your energy centers. So
Yes.
using
Yes.
that energy to kind of heal yourself. So you've been such a help for me. Um, Trying to work through a lot of my stuff, and it also, as I work through my stuff, I'm able to help my clients work through theirs.
Yes, and that is the
Mm-hmm.
purpose of why I breathe.
Mm-hmm.
So that I can, because I grew up in an environment where I was suffering so much and I was
Me too.
around people who were suffering. And
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the things that I connect with you on. Like, we come
Mm-hmm.
from trauma, right?
Yes.
A lot
Yes.
of people do, but some of us come from like you were born into a hellish experience, right?
Yes. Yes.
And so when you were born into a hellish experience, it, the tendency is to feel like something is wrong with you.
Mm-hmm. I've always felt. I felt like an alien. Like God dropped me down in this family who I could not relate to. Like in a lot of ways. Like I was so much different than the rest of my family, and I've
Yes.
always stood out. So it was just like I felt like an alien.
Yes, yes. And
Mm-hmm.
and so then when you grow up, then you're carrying all of that stuff, which becomes like karma. And then we have this opportunity to look at it. Like, so when I was young, I used to have like a mouthful of canker sores. Girl, have you ever had a canker sore?
Mm-mm.
Canker sores are like these open ulcers in the mouth.
Okay.
And I would have canker sores in my mouth. I
Mm-hmm.
would have hives.
Mm.
And it was because I was so nervous because I'm a Pisces rising. And so that
Okay.
Pisces rising energy is so sensitive. It can feel everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, my grandmother was always sending me to the doctors, and they were like, by the time when I got to be an adult, they were like, take Valium. And I was like,
Mm-mm.
how
It's
am I
like
functioning on Valium?
right, right. So
They're
yeah.
just trying to make me a drug addict.
Right, right. So it was like, and I literally get into, so I do go to the doctor still, I'll go get physicals and stuff still. But like the last time I went to the doctors, literally had an argument with my doctor about my health, in her projection of what she thought was going on for me. And, me kind of taking my power back. It's like, I understand that's what you're trained to do, but I have free agency over my body. So I can say what's best for me.
Right.
You know what I mean? So she like went around the vaccine and flu season and mammograms and cancer screenings and doing all these screenings when nothing's wrong.
Right.
So it's just like I just said I'm just not doing it. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And I'm okay, and I respect her for telling me, that's part of your job
That's
to tell
right.
me. Yeah, so I respect it, but trying to shut her down, like my mother got vaccinated and she died 3 months later.
Wow.
So it's just like, no, thank you. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I know they scared her. As much fear, they put so much fear in her for her to get vaccinated, and she, transitioned.
Yes. Yeah.
So, just trying to have conversations with physicians about me having free agency over my care, and letting even my grandchildren's mothers, letting them know, like, you have the power over your child's care. You don't have to listen to the doctor. You know what's
Yes.
best for your baby. She grew in your body.
That's right. That is
So,
right. And that is what the astrology does. It
yeah.
gives us the opportunity to be empowered in
Yes.
our bodies.
Yes.
And so when we are having to partner with people who do things solely from a Western perspective,
Mm-hmm.
you get to come with information
Mm-hmm.
about your own wisdom
Yes.
about your body.
Mm-hmm.
And Shaka, I'm available. You can come get a session. But you get to come to with your own information about your body. And one of the most profound things, I have Jupiter conjunct my sun
Mm-hmm.
in Virgo in the sixth house, no doubt. So that's the sixth house is the house of health and your body.
Yes.
A
Mm-hmm.
Virgo is about health.
Mm-hmm.
Jupiter governs the liver. Jupiter is your liver, and the liver
Okay.
is the only organ in the body that can regenerate itself, or is that we're
Mm-hmm.
told that it can regenerate,
Yeah.
and it's cleaning your whole body system out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
when I got clear about that and my system was feeling stagnant, I did some research. I understood where my liver was, and I
Mm-hmm.
started really talking to my liver and loving it and thanking it and
Mm-hmm.
understanding, and started doing Jupiter rituals to honor that expansive nature inside of me, because we all have Jupiter in our charts. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
does. This is
Yep.
Jupiter season. This is Sagittarius right now,
Yeah.
but we all
Yep.
have Jupiter in our charts. So during this season, like during the season where the sun is, you get to renew yourself. So I just started doing the castor oil packs on my
Mm-hmm.
liver to help my body move more,
Mm-hmm.
move faster,
Yeah.
to help the stuck energy get processed out so that it doesn't build up and become an illness.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I
I'm actually
stopped
in the
drinking
process of,
alcohol. Go ahead.
yeah, I'm in the process of cleansing my liver now. I'm doing a liver cleanse where I'm only eating once a day, and I'm just doing these shakes that's helping me like move, like just clean my body out. I've cleaned my adrenals. Like I'm trying to heal myself from thyroid disorder. So
Yes,
I'm healing my hormones.
you are healing
Yes,
yourself
yes,
from
I am
thyroid.
healing myself. Yes. So I'm currently doing a liver cleanse now. I'm cleaning my like regulating my adrenal glands, which will lower my cortisol, which is now helping me lose weight because like I was carrying a lot of weight around my stomach and I'm like something else is wrong. So I
Yes.
sent the hair test in. I found out my adrenals and my cortisol levels were up. So I'm in the process of cleansing that and suppressing, not suppressing, but staying away from food, not eating a lot of food. And I haven't really been feeling hungry lately. So this was a
Yes.
good time to do it. Like my body was ready for it.
Yes. Isn't that
So,
something? It's just a profound thing as we have been doing, like, as you know, they've been talking about all these solar flares coming in. I have
mm-hmm,
Mars in Leo, and so that Mars is the physical body.
mm-hmm,
It's also your will. It's also
mm-hmm,
your will, right? I
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
will. It's all, and then and Leo is the heart. So my heart can start beating really, really fast, and
mm-hmm.
just doing all this sort of stuff. So I just started doing some research, some prayer, some meditation, and then it came to me to do key lime juice with cayenne pepper.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, key lime, I go to the farmer's market. I ain't never seen key limes at the farmer's market. There's a
Mm-hmm.
whole booth just filled
Right.
with key limes, right?
Right.
So
Right.
now every morning I juice like 8 key limes. I
Mm-hmm.
put a heaping spoon of cayenne pepper in it and shot
Mm-hmm.
it down.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
when I
yeah.
tell you it's cleaning out my blood,
Mm-hmm.
it's cleaning out my digestive system, it's
Mm-hmm.
cleaning out my arteries from my heart, right? So they say that Americans die more of anything else, more of heart attack than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And so my mother died of a heart attack when she was 47. So I was
Wow.
like, okay, I need to manage. I need to be with this.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
talk to my heart. I
Yes.
do rituals to open my heart. I tell my heart we are a bridge of unconditional love. We can love
Yeah.
anything. We can love
Yes.
anything and everything. And it's so interesting because this morning when I was doing it, my father popped into my mind and he died when I was 13. But it
Mm-hmm.
was almost as if in my meditation, I saw that I needed to open up my heart wide enough to really embrace the part of me that judged my father for
Mm-hmm.
being destructive, for being whatever my story was. And literally, I just started to perspire and sweat and I released it. Why? Because that cayenne is moving everything out
Mm-hmm.
from my heart center that doesn't serve me.
And it's so funny, Monique. I think I have Mars in Sagittarius. Sagittarius was ruled by Jupiter,
Yeah.
and Jupiter the liver. You know what I mean? So it's just like it's just so funny that you say that. I'm just thinking of what you said, like, and it just made sense. It was like an aha moment as soon as you said that. So,
Yes.
but I just started cleansing my liver, just like it felt natural.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes. And this, so, I just want people to know that, I really like people are going to therapy now. Black people are going to therapy. Thank
yes,
y'all for going to therapy. Thank
yes,
y'all for
yes,
and I encourage you if you're looking for a therapist, that Venetia is a therapist and she's a coach, right?
yes,
So
yes.
um so reach out to her for
Mm-hmm.
support in that way
Mm-hmm.
and begin to learn your own astrology. So if you're
Yes.
going to therapy and your
Mm-hmm.
therapist doesn't have that kind of wisdom, it's
Mm-hmm.
okay, right? But if
Yep.
you are a therapist, study astrology as
Yes.
well so that you can really
It's
support.
been a lifesaver. It's been a lifesaver to help me understand myself, help me understand my clients. It helps me understand the people that I work with. It helps me understand my children. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
it's been such a great tool that I use it in every area of my life.
Right? I
Hmm.
know. I know. And
Every area.
it makes this stuff so fun. It really
Mm-hmm.
does. It's such a, because I know I used to just feel lost. Like the
Mm-hmm.
Pisces rising energy, like I have Pisces rising, Gemini moon, Virgo
And
sun.
Virgo sun.
I
Yep.
used to just feel like, where am I? What is going on?
Mm-hmm.
But
Me
when I
too.
started really understanding my astrology, I was like, oh, I have to do things spiritually. I have
Mm-hmm.
to. Because that Pisces rising, I cannot right now. Neptune is conjunct my ascendant at 24 degrees. It has been there for months. I have felt lost. Like I feel like I'm bobbing on an ocean like this
Mm-hmm.
constantly. Like it never goes away. It's a constant thing. But because I know my astrology, I'm not at odds with it because I know Neptune is on my ascendant.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand that watery feeling is because Neptune is on my ascendant. If I didn't know my astrology, I
Mm-hmm.
would be going to the doctor, test me for this and just making them
Right.
look for stuff because
Right.
I
Right.
would I would think something was wrong.
Yes. Yes. And I used to do that often. I used to always be going to the doctors, like my insurance. My job is ending at the end of the year. So I'm like stepping out and just going out into entrepreneurship. So my job, I'm leaving my job. My insurance is ending. So, and this is an opportunity for me to kind of heal myself. So I
Yeah.
don't need insurance. You know what I mean? I go to a
Yes.
holistic doctor, once a year, like I would the Western doctor, and kind of figure out ways to heal myself.
That's right. That's right. I don't have insurance either. I um I do have a holistic doctor that I see 3 times a year.
Mm-hmm.
He's an astrologer, he's a
Mm-hmm.
chiropractor, he's a
Yes.
herbalist,
Yes.
and he is a kinetic, whatever, I don't know the word for that,
Comedic.
but yeah,
Comedic. Yep.
no,
Mm-hmm.
like
Kinesiologist.
kinesiologist,
Okay. Yeah.
a
Kinesiologist.
kinesiologist. And he is so tapped in. He is so
Mm-hmm.
tapped in that like he speaks the language of the body. And
Mm-hmm.
I see him about 3 times a year. Recently I went to see him because I was like, something's going on with my heart.
Right.
And
I
he
know you talked
checked it,
about it.
right? And he checked it and he was like, it's esoteric. He says it's esoteric. But because he kinesiology, yes, thank you. So
Mm-hmm.
because he's tapped in all these ways, he ran my heart. He's like, nothing's wrong with your heart. Your heart is opening. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, wow, my heart. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
yes, your heart is opening.
Mm-hmm.
Can you share the contact information for the holistic doctors? If you're in Los Angeles, I would love to, but send me a private message because he doesn't like me to say his name online. He asked me not to do that.
Okay. Yeah. That's so funny.
But
Yeah.
please, Hollow House, send me information and I'll give you a
What
number.
sign is he? Do you know what sign? Do you know your doctor's astrology?
He doesn't really share it, but I do think I
Okay.
know. I think I know his
Okay.
sun sign. I do know his sun
Okay.
sign.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's your sign.
Which I'm gonna pray for you. You know what I mean? Like we can be difficult. Like I know your son's an Aquarius, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, and he's very he's
Direct.
yes, he's very direct, and
Mm-hmm.
he's very much like Yoda. Like
Mm-hmm.
he asks questions that I just don't fucking have the answers to. Because
Mm-hmm.
he's always testing me. He's always saying, "Well, what about this?" And I'm like, sometimes I just be like, "I don't know."
Right.
I
Right.
don't know.
Yeah. That's so funny. That's so funny. But I'm glad, and so maybe I'll set intentions around that too. Finding a holistic doctor. I have one. He's in Atlanta though.
Hmm.
I've been working with him virtually in Atlanta, but I mean, I've had great results so far. So I
It's
would
a
like to find one in Charlotte.
Yes, you will, if because they're everywhere. They really are everywhere and they work. And so,
Yeah.
and the more you do your own work, you almost kind of become a doctor. And you know what I
Yes.
mean? Like you
Yes.
really do. Like you still all these sort of parts come together where your mind gets clear. You start to
Mm-hmm.
understand what herbs work for which particular things.
Yes.
You
Yes.
understand the solutions. And I think the thing that really is interesting to me about astrology is that when you understand astrology, you see that it's not a one size fits all.
Correct. Correct. And it's like you said, it's like a fingerprint. It's like
Yes.
it's like our own individual fingerprint.
Yes. So for doctors to say that everybody needs this medicine, it's just not
Mm-mm.
that way at all.
Mm-mm.
And if you are having high blood pressure and all that kind of stuff, cayenne pepper.
Is a yes. I just when you so start when you I think when you texted me about it, I had got me some ginger and cayenne pepper shots to take in the morning, first thing in the
Yes.
morning. And it's so I never break out, but now that I'm cleansing my liver out, you can tell it's coming out through my skin.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's just you can tell it's like
It's
it's going
releasing
through.
and your
Yes.
skin is going to be so clear. Here's the
Yeah.
thing. Talking about being fine as fuck is when you like literally my hair is growing, my skin is
Listen, yeah,
clear.
listen. It's
Right.
so like it's wonderful. It's such a wonderful feeling, and I feel so alert and present.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, it's been a great experience.
Yes. So tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me. I'm on Instagram, VR the Love Doctor. I'm on Instagram. My business page is VRLC with Alloy. So it's like Venetia Robinson, life coach with Alloy. I'm on Facebook, Venetia RS Robinson. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Threads. Everything's VR the Love Doctor. TikTok, everything's VR the Love Doctor.
Okay, well, I'm so happy to have you here, VR the Love Doctor.
Thank you.
I
Thank you,
love
Monique.
working with you. My mission in my life before I leave this planet, when my soul leaves this body, it's going to be like you touched thousands and thousands upon Black women, and they are shifting their lives into another way, into our magic, into
Yes.
our expansiveness,
Yes.
because it's so important for Black women. And I want to say this before this is not an ego thing about being special. We
Mm-hmm.
are here to serve
Mm-hmm.
humanity. We're
Mm-hmm.
not here to be better than anybody. We're not
Mm-hmm.
here to make people feel small. We're not here to fight against racism. I used to like racism has been a huge thing in my consciousness that has
Mm-hmm.
really gotten my attention. But once I healed it in my own system, I
Mm-hmm.
realized that as a Black woman, we are the builders of reality.
Mm-hmm.
And if we are on some old fuck shit, then
Mm-hmm.
we energetically take everybody with us back
Right.
into the old
And
experience.
we're siphoning our energy for stuff that doesn't no longer matters, and
That's
it's
right.
no longer relevant. So we
That's
need to
right.
use our energy to move forward and to help people, help grow people who will help lead this next generation. So you've done that, Monique. I know you were talking about earlier on your live, how you were you feel so frustrated because like this work is so hard. And I know, and I feel that. I feel you when it comes to that, because I go through, weeks where it's just like it's really, really hard. And
Yes.
when I'm feeling really emotional and feeling tired and not wanting to show up in the same way that I've been showing up, because it really is hard work. It's hard on your psyche, it's hard
Yes.
on your body physically. So I just thank you, and I appreciate you for doing the work,
Mm,
because
mm,
I feel like part of who I am is because of you.
thank you. Thank you. And part of who I am is because of you. So
Amen. Yes.
I am I am so clear that we are here to serve one another, not here to stand over one another. Like
Hmm.
that has been like I've been in so many environments where men are the leaders, and thank you. I'm so happy that they did, right? Like I'm so
Hmm.
happy that I got information, but we're not here to dominate one another.
Hmm. And it
We're
feels
here.
like partnership. It feels like you're holding my hand. It feels like partnership. Yes.
Yes. And
And I love it.
that's what I believe. And I had to really put my ego in its place so that I don't do that, so that I really am able to show people their own greatness
Hmm.
and then get the fuck out of the way so they can be great.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's
So,
been amazing. It's been an
yeah.
amazing process, Monique. I
Thank
appreciate you.
you. Thank you. I love you. All
I
right,
love
y'all.
you.
We just wanted to come in and have a conversation about why you need astrology. If you're going to the doctor, if you're going to the
Yes.
therapist, wherever you're
Yes.
going in these Western worlds, you need
Yes.
to
You
know
need
who
it.
you are so
Hmm.
that you can.
And you need it for your children. You need it for your children to know who your children are, to learn how to parent them. Like
That's
all of
right.
your children have their own blueprint on what their purpose is here on earth.
Yes,
So
right.
using their astrology, you need their astrology to do that. So it's
That's
been
right.
helpful.
That is so right. It's like because I understand my astrology and having a son who's an Aquarius, I
Mm-hmm.
know to leave him alone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes.
If I didn't have his astrology, I would be trying to force him and you should do what but because he's an Aquarius, I
Mm-hmm.
know that he is connected to the highest self inside of him. And
Mm-hmm.
that if I give him the space, he's
Yes.
going to access it. But I have to
Yes.
create the environment for him to do it.
Yes.
But I can't tell them nothing. I For those of you guys who are friends with Aquarians and you cannot tell them anything. They
Mm-hmm.
have to find it themselves.
Yes.
You
And
can
what?
put it in the space, but it has to be up to them. So,
Mhm.
uh, parenting using astrology to parent is
Yes.
a key.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. All right, you all. Anything else you want to say before we go?
No, I'm appreciative for allowing me to join your space. So
Mm. It's been
I'm
fun.
looking forward to it. Yeah.
Okay. I love y'all.
I love y'all. Have a good day.
Have a beautiful day. Thank you, Benicia.
You're welcome.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.